This is my audience. Imagine living in a world where humans are at risk of complete extinction, where large forests of toxic, dangerous plants swallow humanization's whole. Imagine at the same time the threat of war rages over you. Today in this speech, I will talk to you about Hayao Miyazaki's 1984 animated movie, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind was the winner of 3 awards. The film won both the Manchi and Kanema Junpo Awards in 1985 for Best Film, at least according to IMDb. In this speech, I will first review the general summary of the plot. Next, I'll talk about why I like this movie, and finally, I would explain what the critics had to say about this movie. Without further ado, let's get on to the summary. The film takes place in an apocalyptic world where humans are in threat for extinction. Thousands of years prior, there was a major war that nearly destroyed the world. Typically, man would make these man-made giants that would cause great devastation and the aftermath. The aftermath would create toxic jungles that would engulf villages and spread throughout the world's landscape, releasing dangerous spores. Not only that, the jungles are home to giant insects that can rage and swarm people and kill them. Our protagonist is a princess named Nausicaa who lives in a village called the Valley. It borders along the toxic village, so they're trying to find a solution to help to prevent the spread of the toxic jungle. She is a nature-loving pacifist and is at the same time, 2 kingdoms are at war currently. One of these kingdoms, the Ptolemaican Empire, captures Nausicaa's village and wants them to help resurrect the same giant from the thousands of years prior to the war, to help wipe out the toxic jungle and the giant insects. Nausicaa will then, in the rest of the movie, will have to try to make peace within the 2 nations and help prevent the extinction of her people and human civilization. So I just explained the summary. Let's go on to why I like this film. The film has great world building and themes. It has like a combination of medieval and sci-fi theming, like the clothing, like the Ptolemaians, the ones that captured Nausicaa's village. They have almost like a knight-inspired armor that's going on. Not only that, but it has sci-fi elements like guns, like grungy-looking guns, in conjunction into it. Nausicaa's winged rider, even though she kind of looks like almost like a medieval fantasy peasant, she is using technology like a giant wind glider. Also, make sure of both using swords and guns. The visual effects and the animation is beautiful. The film is smooth. The landscapes are whimsical and beautiful and memorizing in this film. So right now I'm going to show a clip of Nausicaa flying in her glider. As you can see there. Also, I kind of like the message of the film. It's very anti-war. So, it's very like in front of you, they basically say that the cause of the toxic jungle is because of the pollution from these wars, the war from long ago and the war currently. And it basically says that if this war continues based on destruction, stuff like that, it will be humanity's doom. It will lead to humanity's destruction if it continues. So now you know why I like the film. You see what the critics have to say. It's usually positive, but there's some critiques here. Michael Sargro of The New Yorker on March 25th, 2013 said that the film is violent yet sternly hopeful. There's kind of like a bit of horror moments in Nausicaa. Nausicaa, like just basically saying, like especially in the beginning, it shows like a kind of bit of a corpse of a family being killed by the toxic jungle, the spores of the toxic jungle. But usually it ends really nicely, like it implies that Nausicaa would rebuild the world. There. On August 23rd, 2022, Ollie Border from Forbes.com says that the film is crisp and simple characters, has a huge array of emotion, whereas the environments are intricate and often quite terrifying. Yeah, that is definitely true. Like previously, there's a lot of horror elements there. Also a lot of unique situations, and also just due to the fact that it's really on emotion. Yeah, it's like Nausicaa herself is a very pacifist character. She basically is distraught about how much stuff is. On February 15th, 2015, Alex Sherman of his website says that the movie is a bit too simple in characters. They all kind of form tropes, which it is true. There's like a blind lady, like typical blind old lady that's kind of, tells the fortune, that type. And then there's Nausicaa herself, who's a bit one-dimensional, even though she's very admirable. It's just that she's kind of viewed as this amazing character all the time. Virginia Kubuai from Geeks and Gamers on February 18, 2021 said that although he liked it, the character seemed a little flat and one-dimensional. I do agree that, yeah, like previously, it's kind of like the villain too. Her and the villain tend to have like, their motivations are kind of like very simple. There's no like, why are they the way they are? Okay. So in this speech, I explained the summary of the movie and why I liked it and what the critics had to say about it. So, Nausicaa of the Valley, if you really like Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke, especially Princess Mononoke, you will surely enjoy Nausicaa of the Valley.